Hi, I'm Alex Carantza with System1 Group, and I'm joined by my friend and former colleague from Diageo, Melissa Upjohn, this afternoon.
Hi, Alex. Good to see you. I'm now at First Round Collective, working on Ciroc and Lobo 1707, and thrilled to be here with you today.
Yeah. We just got back from the Ciroc Athletic Club, and it was really quite the experience. It's like where luxury and active lifestyle sort of meet. And at System1, we really preach brand consistency. So knowing that the brand's going through a bit of a transformation, what does this tell us about the next chapter for Ciroc?
Yeah, well, we're certainly moving in a different direction. Back in the day when Ciroc was being built in the early mid-2000s, it was all about nightlife. It was all about hustle culture, and that was the path to get to status. Bottle service equaled status. But modern luxury codes have changed so significantly, where once people went to go drinking, they are now going to do an activity, and then a drink follows afterwards. So we're trying to create that experience and that vibe for people. And for Ciroc, we don't see the athletic club as being such a pivot from nightclub and nightlife. Mm-hmm. It's really that logical next chapter. And so what we're trying to do is create a new canvas and a new context, but still have that emotional payoff, but in a new experience, a new area. So that's the pivot.
It makes really good sense. It looks like Ciroc is now meeting the consumer where they are in their life now. Mm-hmm. At System1, we always challenge brands to make people feel something. What is it that you're doing with Ciroc that you're trying to really make sure that the brand is being felt by consumers?
Yeah, and so where we were before and the feelings was more of that adrenaline, high adrenaline, that grind, the look at me, I've made it vibes, and that's what, people were exuding. But we're moving away from that into more ease and leisure. So our whole platform is around leisuring well. And I believe in System1 that is still very high emotional intensity. It's just on the other side of the spectrum. And we know that when people feel like they're not, keeping up with the Joneses or chasing something, they're more relaxed, even though they're still wanting that aspirational premium experience. They can create more memories, and they get that emotional connection with something that is a little bit more what people are looking for today. So those are the types of things that we're trying to make people feel and bring them back down to a place where they feel comfortable but are still getting that luxury and that aspiration.
Yeah, it really feels like you're sort of coming to the logical conclusion of where hustle culture led us up to, which is being able to look at our lives more holistically and what is success on a holistic level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really, comes to life in the athletic club. Another thing that System1's research has borne out is that distinctive assets are really important. Mm-hmm. And you've had quite a long career working on some very iconic brands. So thinking about distinctive assets, how have you used those so that these brands that are very well established are also able to harness and break into culture and have meaning?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, it's on Smirnoff, Captain Morgan, Guinness, Jim Beam, and now Ciroc. Have seen some mistakes from brands where you try to come in and create something brand new, when really what the better move is to take something familiar and make it feel fresh. And your assets are only as powerful as somebody's ability to recognize them instantly. So for us, it's the blue orb on Ciroc. It's the shape of the bottle, which is super unique. The blue, the French craftsmanship, and the quality cues that come along with it. So how do we take those and put them in a new context? Mm-hmm. So with those modern luxury codes changing and people moving away from nightlife, our semiotics around the dark nightclub, the velvet ropes, and bottle service as luxury has now changed into more mid-tempo, light and bright, more of those social activities. So we're trying to create the context of the places where call it sport culture, sports, arts, culinary, and leisure intersect, and bring all of those key brand assets into that as we are working on this repositioning, rebranding journey.
So tell me if I'm getting this right. The brand is going through a lot of different changes and activities so that the key brand assets stand for something a bit different. So keeping the brand assets, but giving them new meaning and culture.
Well, sort of. So kind of yes and no. Keeping the brand assets, putting them in a new context, because we still want those assets to have the same meaning for the brand, whether that's luxury, status, fine French culture, and quality vodka. But we're putting them in a new space so that the meaning remains the same, but it evolves with the way that people are experiencing status today. Does that make sense?
It does it makes perfect sense. And, as marketers, in order for us to determine that we are being successful, we're looking for, different sorts of performance indicators. So how do you know that you're doing something that's relevant? What are the markers you look for to understand that what you're doing is really true to the brand and going to be successful?
Yeah, great question. For us, the first thing that I look at is, are people talking about the brand? And it's not talking about us more, it's talking about us differently. Have we been building new associations? Are they talking about us in new occasions? Are they referencing the brand in different ways outside of like the club and shots? So that's the first one, because that's going to start to indicate that the memory structures are changing and we're building the right ones of where we want to go with the brand. The second one is, are people engaging with us? And it's not just the talkability aspect of it. It's, are they sharing our things? Are they, people are so participatory these days. It's not just an impression or if they've seen us. It's, are they sharing and are they recreating what we're trying to do in culture? And then the other piece is whether you get the brand attribution. So we can do something really interesting and fun and culture that's relevant, but if we don't get the payback and people aren't associating that with Ciroc, then we're not going to move cases. We're not going to change the emotions of the brand. And frankly, you don't have the ownability. So any other brand can come in there and do this exact same thing. So those are the things we're looking at. Ultimately, culture is a multiplier. You have to put the brand first. And culture and those indicators of it are what allows a brand to be memorable. So it gives you more occasions to be memorable, but you still have to make sure that the brand is being built.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad we got to catch up today.
I know.
I feel all up to date on Ciroc.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll have to go back to the athletic club.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks, Alex.